Hey everyone, I am going to walk you through a very simple build of an AI agent using a tool called Lindy AI that will save you a bunch of time, primarily if you're a marketer, but possibly even if you're not and you're planning to do something else. I'm using this tool called Lindy AI, which you can access using the link in the comments below, or you can just go to Lindy AI and sign up for an account. Now, you will be presented with an interface that looks exactly like this when you first sign up. And then you'll click on New Agent, and then you'll want to click Start from Scratch. And then you will see an interface that looks like this. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select where I'm going to send the results of this AI agent to. So I'm going to add an action, and I'm actually going to choose Google Sheets and append row. Now, if this is the first time that you're doing this, you will be presented with an authentication or a connection request here or some information here. I've already set it up. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to choose the spreadsheet that I'm actually going to send the results to. It's this one. And just an FYI, I presented this last week at the Cybersecurity Marketing Society conference, and I got really great feedback about this. And I wanted to record this for the benefit of everyone or anyone who couldn't make it to that event. So I've selected the spreadsheet. Now I'm going to select the sheet title. I'm just going to call it Blog Topics. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to build an agent that goes out and scans and looks at my competitors' websites or their blog pages and see where the gaps in content between my blog and their blog are, so that I can help to fill in the gaps or at least get some ideas for what other pieces of content I can generate. The first thing you want to do with any agent in Lindy is to select a trigger. In this case, I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click on Chat with this agent. And then I am going to click on Message Received. Now, this is the trigger that sets off the workflow. Basically, anything that happens has to start with some sort of prompt or trigger. In this case, receiving a message from within the chat window is what is going to kick off this workflow. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to then enter an agent step. So this is where agents typically have a few things. You have a prompt, and you'll want to give it some skills or tools, access to some tools. Those are the big things here. You'll want to give it a brain. In this case, it's the model. I'm going to use Claude's Haiku 4.5, best one that Anthropic offers right now. Most expensive, my favorite, of course. And then I'm going to start actually with the end in mind. I'm just going to click on an exit condition. I'm going to say, exit once the task is complete. So I'm going to click on that. Again, if it missed that, I clicked here, it auto-completed this exit once the task is complete. All I did was just click on that agent step again to go back to the previous screen. And then I'm going to provide it with some skills or some tools, the ability to actually perform actions. I'm going to give it 3. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to look for Perplexity here in the search window. And I'm going to give it the ability to search with Perplexity. So I'll click on that. The second is I'm going to give it another skill. And I'm going to give it a skill that is provided by Lindy. So if you hover to the bottom here and click on by Lindy, and then go down to web browser down here, and then click on Search the Internet, and then that's selected, and then you click Done. And then now it has 2 skills or 2 tools or actions that it can perform. So these two in combination with each other will go and scour the internet and return the results that it needs in order to make the determination as to what pieces of content are missing from my own blog. Now, the third thing I'm going to do, of course, is I want to give it the ability to update the sheet that we set up a short while ago. So I'm going to click on Google Sheets here. I'm going to click on Append Row, which is the first option here. And then I'm going to click on Done. All right, you've given it a brain, the model. You've given it skills or the ability to perform actions. The next thing you want to do is to give it some direction. I'm going to provide some very, very simple directions here. Now I'm going to pull up Super Whisper, which is my dictation. Sorry, I'm now going to pull up Super Whisper and dictate my prompt. So the prompt is, you are a product marketing manager for Jupiter One, www.jupiter1.com. Your job is to understand where gaps in your content are between your company and your competitor's company. Take the competitor's name from the chat and then do an analysis of their blog pages and compare it to your website's blog pages to see where you need to create content that they have written that you have not written. Use all the tools available to you to perform this task. For every topic that you want to add a new row in the Google Sheet. Add the competitor's name, the URL for the blog post that Jupiter One is missing, and the title of the topic that's missing. While it's off doing that, I'm just going to show you that I already created the sheet with these headings that correspond with the prompt that I provided. All right, so it's misspelled Jupiter One. I'm going to fix that. And the reason I selected Jupiter One is that I currently head marketing there. Let's see, add the competitor's one here. Just made some quick changes and updates to make sure that everything is correct. And then I'm going to click on turn on. That publishes it. And then I'm going to run a test. Now, when I click test, there are two separate things here. So there is a message received, which is the trigger. And then there's this other thing here, which is a pen row, which is part of the setup process. I'm just going to click on test and select message received because I want to prompt or provide instructions in a chat window. I'm going to go ahead and use, I don't know, I'm just going to make up some, I'm just going to select a company that we don't really compete with, or not directly at least. Panacea. I'm going to click on that. So it's off. It's doing its thing. It's searching the internet. It's going to go through Perplexity and all that. And then it's going to provide information about which pieces of content that don't exist on our website, but exist on this company's website. All right, it's going to keep doing it. I'm actually going to pause now, and I'll come back in a short while. So it's done. I click on tasks here. In the task tab, you can see when it's first ran at 2:49 p.m. and it shows the list of all the things that it did. And then I'm going to go over to the spreadsheet, and it filled in the spreadsheet. So that's it. It's a very, very simple way of setting up an agent. The agent itself is ridiculously simple, but I just wanted to show the capabilities and show how it's set up. So again, simple thing you can replicate right away. You can imagine new use cases that really just require you to change the prompt because you might be interested in doing something else instead that is not doing a content gap analysis. Again, the main steps are setting a trigger using the chat in this case, and then creating an agent step, providing it with the brain, which is the model here, providing it with access to the skills or tools that it needs. And then you have access to the internet and browser through Perplexity as well as Lindy's own built-in browser. And then all you have to do is provide the prompt, which provides it instructions. There you go. I hope this was helpful. Follow me and like this, share it if you want. I would encourage it and be grateful for it. And I will see you in the near future.